Hi everyone, I'm Joey. Well, I know it's been a while since I've posted a video and they're slowing down, and I'm actually doing everything I can to make that speed up again, trying to find somebody to do my editing and some other background work for me so I can actually produce a bit more content because it's fun when I have the time to do it. So anyway, this job is a kind of a wall-hung TV entertainment unit. My client had very specific requirements about what he wanted and how it was to perform and look. And so this is the design I kind of came up with based around his ideas. I don't have really good final pictures of it because I couldn't get them on site. But if you watch the video, you'll actually get to see all the different parts of it and how it works. And it's a pretty good overview of a very simple looking object, but quite complex to make. So anyway, hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you later. So the main body of the unit is made out of this extremely expensive Rimu veneer plywood. It is obscenely expensive. So it's only one good face on the front, which is Rimu. The back side is some random timber. I'm not exactly sure what it is. So once I had carefully cut the sheet into pieces, I needed to glue one panel together, which would then be cut up later on, and that would become the side panels of the unit. Then I decided to kind of change tact a little bit and make the internal kind of carcass type part of the unit. So this is just some MDF, pretty basically glued and screwed together. So this part I'm putting on now is actually the back. Just for some context, perhaps, if you're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And I clean up the front corners now. This is the front of the unit, and essentially this is now ready for paint after I do some sanding. So after some primer, I then add some actual color, which is just white as well. And I do about 3 coats of the white. One of the trickiest aspects to this job is creating this cable port, which the client wanted specifically. And so we used a CNC to do this. I'll explain in a second what's going on. Okay, so we had to add what is essentially a cable port on the top of this unit, and that's what this hole is going to be. I'm going to clean that up later on. But also the client wanted kind of a secondary large cable port, which is going to sit and be able to pop out of the top. And of course I want the grain to match up when this piece goes back in, and to cut it nicely and have it a nice fit. We used a 1/8 inch bit, a down cut bit, to cut as deep as we could, which is only about 12 mil, those small bits. So I'm going to cut the rest of this out by hand, but then I can edge this, both of these edges, with 2 mil clashing, and then I can then sand and plane that back down to be a nice tight fit. So adding on the curve essentially of the router bit. And I hope that makes sense. This is the bottom, so it's going to be flipped over, and we actually made this hole slightly smaller so this plug can fit down and sit onto the edge around here. You'll see. So this is a 2mm thick solid Rimu clashing, which I can actually order from a supplier. And it's just glued and taped in place wherever I need it. Once the glue was dry, I took what I could off of the excess with the hand plane, but it was getting a little bit of chip out and it just wasn't spectacular. And so I actually found that just sanding it off was a much easier and nicer finish in the end. Okay, so this is the bottom of the top. So I need to flip this over so the Rimu veneers on the inside of the unit. And now the top of the top sits on there. The bottom layer sticks out slightly further than the top, which means that when this goes in, it seats down nicely and it's just kind of sitting there, which is great. I'm going to still dress this up later, but that part at least works. And I can now glue these together, put the edging on the front of this, and carry on. Okay, so I've got to get out on the road and go look at another job and do some other stuff. So I'm going to actually do all of this glue up and the edging out of order. I'm going to do it all at once, which is not ideal, but that means that while I'm away driving around for the day, that this is gluing up and I can actually do something with it tomorrow. So let's see if it works. Right, I'm back from my day shopping. Let's see what this looks like. And this is just adding the edging to the smaller panel, which will become the two side panels of the unit. With the side panels cut to length and mitered on the top end, I had to add a rebate to the bottom of the side. That is going to allow the MDF carcass to fit into that. Now this little insert probably took most of my time, to be honest, on this whole build. There's a lot of thinking and a lot of work on this one little piece. So yeah, fun and games. With that drying up, I can get the first coat of clear coat on the main body of the unit. I had to make a slight adjustment here. I did take 1mm off the central divider of the carcass. And now I can go around and screw the carcass to the Rimu plywood. This is the bottom, so actually bog and sand and repaint the bottom after this. Final coat of clear going on now. Wanted to use this plumb jig to do the large hole, but it just doesn't work that close to the end of a panel, so I had to go scrounging around for a drill bit that was A, sharp, and B, the right size, and I found something that kind of dug its way through. At this point I realized I made a mistake somehow, and so I had to actually adjust the hardware bracket a little bit. It was about 9mm out. Luckily you don't see these little holes at all, so that's fine. Once I worked out which screw adjusts the hinge in which direction, it was fairly straightforward to adjust the gaps around the side. But I knew that the doors fitted, I could spend the time in getting the spray on the doors just right. I sprayed the backs first. And then after a couple of days of them being dry, I mask off the back, and this is really the only surefire way to not get overspray on the back of a flat panel. Mask off the back, and then you can spray the front and the edges again. You have the doors adjusted properly. These hinges have a safety screw which is set in, which stops the door from being wrenched off if someone was to really push on it. Once that's in, you can add the damper piston. There it goes. And that's that. I hope everyone enjoyed that, perhaps found it useful in some small way, and I will see you on the next one just as soon as I can get it out to you guys. See ya.